Hello, all of you lovely students. Welcome to Mathematics Lesson 3, Grade 10, Chapter 3. Let's begin. So, today you will learn what a monomial and a polynomial term are. It's very simple, don't worry. We also are going to learn how to multiply algebraic expressions, and we're going to do some examples and practice. Now, let's begin with monomial and polynomial terms. First, a question. How do you classify expressions? Well, it all depends on the number of terms an expression has. So, let's look at an example. If an expression has one term, it is called a monomial. So, 2xy, 5a squared, 24x, and 10 cubed are all monomial expressions because they have one term. If the expression has two terms, it can be called a binomial or a polynomial. Either one, it's correct. But x squared plus 6, negative 5 plus x, and so on are all binomial and polynomial expressions because they have two terms or more. Now, if an expression has two terms or more, it is called a polynomial. And here we have only expressions with three terms, and they are all polynomial expressions. So remember, one term, monomial. Two terms, binomial or polynomial. And three terms, it's a polynomial. So, in the past, we learned how to add and subtract algebraic expressions, but now we're going to learn how to multiply algebraic expressions. Let's do some examples to understand this topic better. The first example, it's a multiplication of a monomial times a polynomial. And when there is a parenthesis separating a monomial times from a polynomial, you need to use distributive property to solve. So distributive property means you're going to multiply the term outside the parentheses times all of the terms inside. So in this case, we're going to multiply negative 2b cubed times 3b squared, negative 2b cubed times negative b, negative 2b cubed times 4, and that is how we are going to get the answer. So first, negative 2b cubed times the first term, which is 3b squared, we get negative 6b to the power of 5. We get the negative 6 by multiplying negative 2 and 3, and the answer is negative 6. And then we get the b to the power of 5 by adding the powers in the variables, because when you are multiplying terms, you're going to add the powers when it comes to the variables. Now, for the second multiplication, it's negative 2b cubed times negative b. You multiply negative 2 times negative 1, the imaginary 1. You're going to get 2. And then for the variable, you're just going to add the powers, so 3 and power of 1. And you're going to get b to the power of 4. And for the last multiplication, you multiply the first term times the last term, and you get negative 2b cubed times 4. You just multiply negative 2 times 4, which is negative 8, and then you just write the remaining variable. And your answer is going to be the combination of all of these terms, which are negative 6b to the power of 5 plus 2b to the power of 4 minus 8b cubed. And that is your answer when you use distributive property to solve this multiplication. For the second example, we are also going to use distributive property. So we're going to multiply the monomial outside the parentheses by all of the terms inside. So 2x squared times x squared, 2x squared times negative 4x, and 2x squared times 3. And for the first multiplication, you're going to multiply 2 times 1 is 2, and then you're just going to add the powers of the variable, so 2 plus 2 equals 4, 2x to the power of 4. And then you multiply 2x squared times negative 4x, you multiply 2 times negative 4, you get negative 8, and then you just add the powers, 2 plus 1, and you get x to the power of 3. And then for the last multiplication, 2x squared times 3, you just multiply 2 times 3, which is 6, and you just write the remaining variable. So your answer is going to be 2x to the power of 4 minus 8x cubed plus 6x squared. For the last example, we're going to multiply two monomials. As you can see, inside the parentheses, there is just one term. So when multiplying two monomials first, you just multiply the coefficients, which are the numbers in front of the variable. So 5 times negative 2, negative 10. And then if the terms have the same variable, so in this case they have this, both expressions have the variable x, then you're going to add the two powers. So first we are going to write it as negative 10 because you multiply 5 and negative 2, and we are going to add all of the variables. And now, since they share the same variable x, we're going to add the powers. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So x to the power of 5. And your answer is just going to be negative 10, x to the power of 5, y to the power of 2, because you just multiply the coefficients, and then if they have a variable that is the same, you're just going to add the two powers, and that is your answer. So in this lesson, we have learned about monomial and polynomials. We have learned how to multiply algebraic expressions, and we did some examples. In the next lesson, we're going to complete our group assignments and review the answers. So, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time.